Hello, it's Angela with Dogwood Paper Arts, and I'm back today to work on a 2-sheet wonder, not a 1-sheet wonder, but a 2-sheet. It started out as a 1-sheet wonder, but I'm doing my own thing, trying not to copy anybody, but you know, they've all been done. So it is highly likely that it will make a mask of somebody else's. But I'm trying to think up my own pattern here. So I'm cutting this 12 by 12 down to 2 pieces of 6 by 12. And there's our 2 6 by 12 inches. And we're going to score this one here. This is the outside of the first piece. Flip it over and score it at 4.5 inches, 4.5 inches, 4.5, and then score it again at 9 1/4 right here, 9 1/4. Okay, there we go. And there we go. That's kind of what it's going to look like. Then on our second piece, we are going to score it on the outside. Now on this piece, this is the outside section right here. Okay? And we are going to score it at 3.5 inches. Now, I think maybe I'll make this 3.25, which would be 3 1/4. We can go 3.5 or 3 1/4. I'm going to try 3 1/4 on this one. Okay? And it's going to fold like this. Now we want to be sure that it will leave a place here, and it does. That leaves a nice little place here for us to put a divot for reaching in this pocket. Okay? So what we want to do now is, let's see, let's glue this piece together right here on 3 sides. Now, if you don't want to, have 2 stark different colors like yellow and black, then, you can pick your paper, whatever you want. I just have paper packs that I am trying to use up that are very old. I got them when they were hot off the market, about 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. And whenever this collection came out, I'll tell you the collection here in just a second. Oh my goodness. I got a glue thing in there. Let's shake it up. See if we can get it to move. Well, there's a little glue worm in there. Not really a worm, but it feels like a little worm stuck in there. They look like little worms, little white worms. By the time I get the glue on there, the other glue will be dry. Okay, putting those 2 together. I want them to be even. And there we go. Now we have a nice little pocket right there. Right there's our pocket. Make sure they're even. Otherwise everything will be off. And so let's put a little divot in there. Right about there. Save that. We might need it. Okay. So this is what it looks like so far. As you have this flippy floppy thing with this envelope in the middle, or on the front cover, like this. Then we're going to fold this to the back like this, and we're going to give it a score right along here where these two meet up, which should put it at about 4 3/4 of an inch now. Go. Almost perfect. Almost perfect. And that leaves another place over here for a pocket. Okay? So let's put another divot in here so that we know that's a pocket. There we go. Save that. So let's put some glue here. I need a new glue thing. Heal you glue, you glue. Yep, it's just sticking in there, so time to put a new tip on. I have extra tips. Always have extra tips. Once they get plugged up. Robin said she got some little bottles with things that don't have glue stuck in them all the time. So I have to inquire about those, Robin. I need something like that. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a pocket. Oops. Now we have an opening, a pocket, a front, a pocket, and an opening. This is where I think the journal should go. It's back there. So this is why we have two pieces. Now with our second piece, we can do some pretty clever things. And you can use the same, or if you have one you've destroyed like I did, you can use it. But before we do all that, I was thinking about sewing this here. And you could sew it right along here too. Don't sew the pocket closed. But I was going to sew it here, and then you don't want to sew that closed, so you'd have to open this like this and sew around here. And then you'd have to open this like that, get that out of the way, if you wanted to sew all the way around. Okay? So that is what I was kind of thinking about doing. But I think on this one, since we're on film and stuff, I won't sew it. Well, let's see. Should I or shouldn't I? You think I should. So you can see what it's like, huh? Okay, that's a 1/4 inch circle there. I'm going to go half, because I like half a little bit better, I think. Yes, I like that better. And then I'm wondering if I should do those here and here. Well, I do like it on that pocket. I think that looks nice there. And then I think we'll do it here at a 1/2 inch. Okay. So there we go. Let's go back here, or let's go inside, and let's make some nice little pockets in here. Yes, I will do that. I will put ink on these so you can see them. I'm going to use black because the outside is black. that black got really weird. I must maybe have glue on there. Don't know. I don't know. Okay, so there we go. I don't like that. Yuck. It got sticky. My stays on got sticky. But it stays on. Okay. That lets us see where we want to do this. So we're going to cut it. I need to put this pen away. Going to cut it to the inside here. And how tall do we want this one? It depends. Do we want a full pocket front here? No, we don't. We just want a little pocket. So I think right there. Okay, so it's not a very big pocket. See that? You can see it's not very big. There we go. Now let's cut a couple of these so we can make some little things for... So you can see it is not a one-sheet wonder at all. It's just a wonderful wonderful two-sheet wonder. Okay, we have those. Now let's bring this back, and this, and our scissors. Just give that a little clip, just for neatness sake. Okay. Let's see if this works. Of course not. Sometimes when the glue gets like this, it doesn't even want to, the glue doesn't even want to glue down. It gets kind of, I guess it gets cranky. I don't know. Are you cranky, glue? You feel cranky to me. Feels like cranky glue. Oh, goodness. So I wanted to remember to say big hugs out to everybody. And hearts and hugs. And yeah. There we go. Okay, there. Whew, that was work. Take this. Yeah, I sure appreciate all of you being here. Hang on to that. And then we got a half-inch around that because it's going here. Okay. There we go. Gotta get that one underneath rounded a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, I wanted to welcome new subscribers too. So I'm so glad you're here. And welcome back all my subscribers. It's wonderful to have each of you. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. We got a beautiful little standard pocket there. And now, normally we would put in like a belly band. So we do have this one, but it doesn't quite reach, but I do love the butterflies on it. But let's make a belly band to go there. I mean, that's simple enough, isn't it? So we know it's got to be at least this tall. Let's just measure with the paper to paper measure. That's the easiest way with all of this. I do measure quite a bit, quite often. So there will be times that I do measure. And I don't know what I was doing here, actually. I measured in the wrong place, I'm sure. Oh, up to here. Okay, so what I'm doing first is cutting the width of my belly band. Let's see. I'm looking at my butterflies to see which way they're going. There is the width. And what is that? That is 2 1/4 of an inch is how big I measured it. How wide I cut it. And then we're going to put that right here. And glue it down. Right here. Just kind of, I'm eyeballing it, seeing, about where it fits. Just with my eyes. Just with my eyeball. And then, if you want, you could put another little piece in here. We'll cut it just a little bit shorter so that it's about equal. There. And then about equal here. So we're not really too concerned about those butterflies now. And right about there. So we'll put that on there. And I think instead of this black, I wonder if I should go to the... Well, I've already started with black, so I guess I better stick with it. I don't usually use the black, but I had it out yesterday when I made that little red kind of Japanese card or Asian card. And boy, I love that. That was my deck the year was on that, and I really liked it. I just thought it was quite interesting. The way it came together and stuff, I loved it. Now you can make this into another belly band if you want. It's kind of up to you. Might as well. Right here. Okay, so now we have another little belly band. Now let's see, I have some stickers here. These are from the Bloom collection, the Flutter, but they'll be fine with the bees. We have, oh, here's a really nice bee right here. That's not a bee, that's a dragonfly. What if we did this? Let's, oh, come off of there. You're not supposed to go down there. Okay. Let's put this little flutter guy right up there. And then we'll put the little bee in here. But down below the bee, we're going to put this dragonfly. I think it's a dragonfly. Yes. Oh, my daughter sent me a picture of a rhino beetle. Now, can you guess why they call it a rhino? Come on. Put your thinking cap on. Yes, it's because it has a horn that sticks out of its front half. And it can be very protective and can be a killer bug. And what they do is the rhino beetle. I know my daughter knows these things because she was studying to be a bug person. I can't think of what you call it, but she was doing that. She wanted to work with bugs, and then she got into computers somehow, and her whole course changed. But yeah, so yeah. So she sent me a picture. She had found a rhino beetle in her stuff at home, and she sent it a picture, not the bug. Don't send the bug. But yeah, and she said, "Mom, this is a rhino beetle." I had no idea what a rhino beetle. I didn't even know it existed, to be honest with you. I want to put something on here. Oh, looks like I had this butterfly one on the top of that one. I'm going to put something on here that says something. Bravely she flies, maybe? We want that to be kind of in the middle there. So I really am working at using up packs. I've ordered some new packs. Yes, Carol, I did. I ordered. And I'm getting some new stuff. And I told you I ordered from Temu. And my Temu order did come in. I love Temu. I know it's not great to shop there, but I still love it. The reason I love it is because you can get ephemera packs, and some of them look super old and vintage, and sometimes you can just vintage them right up. So that is why I like it. But yeah, yeah, it's kind of cool. So you can turn the ephemera into old stuff, and you don't have to spend the money to go out and buy the expensive old stuff, like the old letters and stuff like that. That's what I did originally, and I have a lot of stuff to scan. I didn't want to just start using it. I wanted to scan it first because it's expensive, and I thought I could make digitals out of it. But did I do that? No. Of course not. It's my plan. Okay, I'm going to glue this down to here. Bravely she flies like a butterfly. Does a butterfly fly or does a butterfly flutter? I think it's so cute when people call them flutterbys. There we go. Look at that. That looks nice. I like that. Okay, so we need something here, but we don't want to take up this pocket, So we just want to put something on here that might look kind of cool. There's a big label over here we could put on here. I kind of like that. And we could put, it's got this little butterfly and dragonfly on it. Let's go with that, just so we can use it. So we can say we used it. Use it up, use it up, use it up. Yeah, we got to talking about authentic papers yesterday, and Robin and I were chatting back and forth on the down below in the description, and how we both commented how much we loved it. So I went and priced some of it out on eBay. Well, it's a little expensive, so I didn't buy any. But yeah, it's a little expensive that way. But I don't think that they make authentic anymore. But when I put it into scrapbook.com, it came up with Cartabella. So I don't know if they bought it out or what. But yeah. I think I want this whole piece right here. Right here. Oh, don't separate. Darn it. It did. I didn't want it to. I think it's going to go right up here, like so. And be happy for this moment. This moment is your life. That's a good saying, isn't it? This is your life. Handle it with care. There, we got the butterfly back together. Whew. Always worry about that, I don't want to make a mistake and not get the butterfly back together. Eek. And then it feels like it needs something down here. Maybe this butterfly. Or maybe just a butterfly. No, I like that. I'm going to put 2 labels on the front. How about that? Because I like it. There. Need some little magnets in there to hold that down, don't I? Okay, so let's flip it over here. And we have that. We have this. So let's see. And we have these. And let's see. I'm gonna put that all over there. We wanted to put a little journal in here, didn't we? Okay. So I'm going to pull out some dyed papers. Oh, there's one that has a bunch of paper already on it. What the heck? Let's use it. It's from a book. There we go. Okay. So it can only be that tall. And then right down to here. Let's just use the tearing ruler. Right there. Looks like that part's going to fit okay. And that would be too short. This will be too wide. It'll be very close, so won't it? If I go from there to here. Have a look at that. Okay. So I'd have to have them each about like that. doesn't want to tear right there. I don't care if it tears kind of wonky. That's okay with me. 1, 2. And then here's the sun. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Gosh. I don't know, I don't listen to a lot of the new music. I listen to a lot of the old music. And I absolutely love it. So, I really need to start listening to some of the new music so that I'm, a little more schooled in what it sounds like and what it is and stuff like that. It'd be good for me to do. Okay, I'm going to start right here and tear the top, because I haven't been really tearing the top too much. And then we're going to go down this way, right about here, like that, and then go here like this. That gives us that. Oh, I like that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. Let's go with this one. Tear the top. Oh, I tore the corner. Oh well. Tear the top. And tear down that side. And the bottom. There we go. And here's another sun. I love that. Love the sun. Oh, sunny boy. Oh, this way. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Now if we put, I think, well, 6 is, that feels pretty good actually. I don't think we want to put much more on there. Ooh, it's going to be tight. Okay, so there it is. Let me grab some of this stuff, the wax stuff. Okay, so center. That feels like that's about the center right there. And we'll go up to right about there. And then maybe right about here. I'm going to leave that in there. It just helps hold the place. And then we're going to count this off. 1, 2, 3, almost 3. Some people like to do more. Some like to leave it attached. I just like to do 3 or pray I have enough to go through all the holes. Whoops, almost pulled it all the way through. That would not be good. This is always the hard part though, isn't it? Always gets caught up on stuff and just kind of a pain. See how much extra there is when you do a shorty like this. There we go. Okay, so now this is a little awkward. It does need a little thing right here so that we can wrap something around. Otherwise it's going to flop all over the place and we're not going to know where we're at and we're just going to throw it away. We don't want to do that, do we? No, of course not. Of course we don't. Of course not. Of course not. I sure wish I could find my brads. I don't know what I did with them. Who would take my brads? The dog. You know, she ran off with my other stuff yesterday. Let's see. Let me just take a peek. Okay, I'm back. I found my brads. They were up in the closet. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Okay, so I have something like these, you know, this is a Tim Holtz one. These are not, these are a Timu and they have a little thicker door knocker on them. So those are kind of nice. So I do like those. And then these are the brass ones, the antique gold. And those always look neat. Might be kind of big though for here. What if we do have one of these? What if we went with something like this, yellow with a flower? It could go here. We need it right about here. About here. There. And then we'll put in a... Oh. Well, we can't put in one of these. We could, and then we could just tie it. Or we can just use this. Like this. And we can go to the back here and make a dot with black paper. And we can glue that down right on there and then cut it off over here. Does that make sense? That way we don't have to stick it way down in the pocket. And I'll glue these little, I'll glue around that hole a little bit so it'll strengthen it up a little bit. Okay, and I'll clip that off. Now these little saved pieces I keep telling you to save. This is to decorate up your front piece if you need to. Nope, doesn't need to go there, so let's put it in here. There we go. There's one. There's one. And let's see, here's another one. Put it over here. Just kind of adds some interest, doesn't it? Just a little bit. Okay, so now we have that. Now we need a string on there. And I think we could use this right now. But really, we should use something that could actually be sold. So let's go into here. And I have this yellow that kind of goes with all that. And let's use this. Where's the end? There it is. Okay, so it goes this way. There we go. Got it under there. I didn't think I would, but it made it. And then I'll wrap it around one more time. It's getting shorter and shorter there. And you might want to put a little bit of glue on that dot, but then I would wrap it around a couple times. And just tie it off, like so. So there we go. Pretty cool, huh? So let's have a peek. We have a pocket. So we need something in there. We need something here. And we need something here. So let's just make a little card to go here. A little journaling card. You can journal right on the back of that, which is very nice. It simplifies things, doesn't it? There we go. And cut it off right about there. Oh dear, where did they go? Come on. There. Sometimes it's so hard to see where you drew your line. Okay, so we have that. Let's make sure it'll fit. It will. Yes. And then, there we go. 1/2 inch these corners by putting them in the thing correctly. And then we have this one from the broken set, so let's add that. Oh, I know. I have, let's look here. It's from a long time ago. Ah, here's a little journaling card. Too tall though. Ah, here's one. Let's put that one in there. And then here's this one. Right here. And let's see. Here is a postcard. Paradise in the Garden. No, I think we'll take this one and chop it off and put it in here. I think we'll chop it off at the top. Right about his wings. Wing! And then right below the bee. Cut his little footy off. Re-round the corners. And there we go. Now we have 2 in here. 2 here, and now we need something in here. There. How about that? Almost fits perfect. Gotta cut this little black ledge off. There we go. We'll round those. And put that in the pocket. Like so. And there we go. Now you could decorate this here too if you want. But I figured since I had this here, I didn't need to do that. And then we wrap it up. And we say, ooh, hallelujah, we made it. So there we go. There is our 2-sheet wonderful. And some extra cards. Yeah, it worked out fine. So we have a little ephemera booklet and a journal. And you could put pockets in here. I mean, you could keep going forever. Pockets here, belly bands, all kinds of goodies. Just keep adding if you want to add. That's totally up to you. And there we go. Oh, I forgot this pocket back here. Look at that. Let's just set something in there. There we go. How about that? Let's put it right side up. I don't like that. There we go. Let's put this in there. There. That works. Works a lot better. Yeah, and these don't quite fit, do they? But we have a couple of these that fit. Okay. There we go. Whew. We made it. I'm always glad to get to the end, you know, before, you know, like the hour 2 comes along. And always happy to get done before you all leave. I hope you haven't all left. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today for this 2-sheet wonderful, and I will talk to you all in the very next video. So big hugs and big hearts. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.